Alrighty, guys, this is Snugs on Blitz, and I'm back with another video for you today. So, wouldn't you know it? The other day, I created a video that's going to drop in a few days entitled something like Gold Tanks. Which tanks should you buy and for how much? So, I went through all the tanks that I had in my garage and said whether I thought they were worth picking up, and if so, at what price. Because getting them, that's okay, but what price did I feel was a reasonable price today? Anyway, that's going to drop in a few days, but lo and behold, I take a look in the store today and whew, all these tanks are available, as you can see in front of you, for some very decent prices. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a video quickly on it today, share my thoughts. I picked up two tanks myself. They're not going to appear in the store because they've added them to my garage. I'll tell you about those later on and why I picked them up. But let's take a look at the rest of the tanks and whether I think they're worth it. Because I noticed that in the regular where is it over here, the normal tank area, there was the AMX M449 and Lorraine bundle. And in my video that you'll be seeing in a few days, I said that, hey, the Lorraine is a pretty good tank, and at 5,500 gold, I think it is a pretty decent price. But the AMX M449, I definitely didn't say it would be worth it at that price. Lo and behold, Wargame did a little bit of sneaky, and they've put it in this event as well. So I feel really sorry for those players who decided to pick up that bundle or the AMX M449 because I think it's 7.5k gold. Whew, they are not happy right now. And it would be nice if Wargaming apologized to those players and said, hey, you know what? We shouldn't have done that. So here's your, the gold, the extra gold that you spent. We'll give you that as a refund. I think they should do that, but it's not my game, right? Anyway, let's take a look at the tanks that are in the store and I'll give you my thoughts. First off, let's look at this bad boy right here, the Chieftain. Now, this is still a great tank. And at 15k gold, this is about the best price you're ever going to get for a tier 10, unless it's in the auctions at the end of the year. Sometimes, if nobody wants them, they'll drop a little bit below this, but I've never seen this drop below 15k, I don't think. So I think this is a bargain. I would say, yeah, and if you want to pick up some gold in the store, it's always on sale nowadays, so you can get a pretty decent price for it. So I think this is about, I don't know, 30 bucks, I guess, with all those gold offers they have, or depending on which system you buy it in. Moving on to the second tank on this list, just no, 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 no. T2020, it's okay. I mean, it looks funky and it's got that cool mechanism. So for a collector, I guess it's okay. But if I was going to put a price on this, I think, it's kind of dull. So 3.5k is more realistic. So I would say this is a solid pass at this price. Sorry. T55A, this is way overpriced. Yeah, they're putting it this price because it's a tier 9, but it is not a strong tank. The T54 is better, if I believe, in every way. I mean, slightly, but it is. I wouldn't say this is a tank unless you're a collector, and I would say I think a fair price for this nowadays, you're looking at 7k. I believe they had the AMX 31ER or whatever it's called prototype for 7.5k once, or in the auction it went for 7.5. I forget, but that's more realistic. That's a good price. So 9,000 for this? Heck no. 7,000 maybe. Now we're talking. But 9,000 solid pass. This tank tier 6, yeah, no. I mean, nothing special about it. Meh. I mean, if you really need to pick something up like this at tier 6, I would say 1,500 is a fair price. Maybe less. I don't know. It's not a tank I would suggest you pick up. So skip that one. Moving on. Here we have the Rampanzer, the tier 8 German medium tank. It's an okay tank. I picked this up for free in a snow globe event maybe 2 years ago. And I was pretty happy to get it. It was a rare tank. It does look great, and the camo is fantastic for it. The Rhino, absolutely love it, but it's just an okay tank. You get a few bounces every now and then, but 8.5k, it's overpriced at that. I'm thinking more like 6k is what we're talking about. So I'd say this is a pass. This tank, on the other hand, is an interesting one. It's been buffed recently, And at 5.5K, that is a very tempting offer. And this is one tank I am tempted to pick up myself. Should I or shouldn't I? I've got 14K left. There are some tanks I would like, but I haven't seen them for a while. I think I'm going to hold off and hope that they come into the store maybe soon. But I was really hoping for the Lance and Sea to be in this event, but unfortunately it's not because I don't know why I want that tank. It's just not a very strong tank, but there's something about it that appeals to me. This tank, that price though, I think this is definitely worth considering just because it's a deal. Type 62, 4,000. It's a little bit old. You picked it up in free events before. I would say, I mean, it's a good tank. Don't get me wrong. The heat on this thing, the Pramo is fantastic, and you won't lose money usually, even shooting or spamming Pramo. I would say 3K is more realistic. 2.5 would be a nice deal. I would say at that price, pick it up 4,000. Yeah, I'd say it's a solid pass. The E25, again, this is an old tank, one of the old boys. 3,000, I think, is a better price for it. The good thing about all these tanks is they are fully loaded. So that's something to bear in mind, but they don't come with a camo. I don't know. I think 2.5K is more realistic for such an old tank. The LT432, I'm not a huge fan of this tank. It is fast, it is agile, it can reverse, I think, 35 kilometers an hour. It's extremely mobile, but it's very low to the ground and making it a tough tank for newer players. So I always try to put my mind in someone who's not really super experienced in this game. So I would say the price is attractive. I think 6K is a fair price. I would definitely take this over the Rampanza. It is more interesting and definitely, I think, a fair price for this tank. And here we have the AMX M449 at 4.5 gold. Oh my gosh, if you don't have this tank for 4.5 gold, pick this sucker up. It is pretty dang good. It can do a little bit of everything. It's a solid tank. It's a solid heavy. It's mobile. It's got decent gun, decent armor. You won't get all the bounces that you used to get, but yeah, I think at 4.5K, that is probably the best deal you're going to ever get for a tier 8 tank. I would say this is a screaming, you know, buy me thing. This is probably my number one choice on this in this event. The ISU 122S is a tier 7. Yeah, no, maybe at 2K it's attractive. I don't know. It's just kind of dull, so I wouldn't really bother. And the Churchill M's, 6, whatever it is. Yeah, no, I don't care how much. Yeah, 1500. Okay. I guess that's more realistic for a tier 6 tank than what they had up above. But one other tank we have to talk about is this tank, the Titan 54D. Oh, that's interesting because, yeah, 7,500. I think it's an okay tank. I think I'd be wanting to pick this up if it was a 6.5K. I picked up myself the Object 274, which was 6.5K. I felt that that was a fair price for that tank. It's not OP, it's not great in any way, and maybe this is the better of the two tanks, but I just wanted that tank more than I wanted this tank. I think it's more challenging, and yeah, I'm kind of enjoying it, although the teams have been pants. I also picked up the Type 57. It was slightly overpriced. I felt 7.5K would have been more in line with what I think it's worth these days. It's not the most exciting tank. It's not a shark, for goodness sake, and a shark is a has been in the shop for 7.5K, so that's how I judge things. But looking at all the tanks, I would say this is going to be the first tank you got to pick up if you don't have it. This one for sure. You've got to consider these two as well because of their price. This one especially, if you like light tanks or fast tanks, this is decent and that price is attractive for sure. This may be, I do think it's slightly overpriced. And the Turtle is also a great offer at tier 8 for not such an old tank. And last but not least, the Chieftain at 15K gold is one I think you should definitely have in your garage. So, are you going to pick up any of these tanks? If so, let me know in the comments below. And if not, why not? What tanks are you waiting for? You know, tanks come in and out of the shop all the time. Maybe you're holding out for the Caliban, or as I said, I want the Lance and Sea. I don't know why. It's just a tank that attracts me if it's for a fair price. I think last time it was in the store for 8K, and I was like, no, 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 no. But if it was in the store for 6K or 5.5K, I'd be like, aha, now you're speaking my language. So I'm just kind of waiting for the Caliban and myself and the Lance and Sea. Those are the only two tanks that really interest me right now. Can't say why. Well, Caliban for the big boom gun, but Lance, I don't know. I guess the camo is cute, the moose. I don't know. So, yeah, that's all I got for you. Thought I should share my thoughts. Maybe you're interested, maybe you're not. I don't know. Sorry. But of course, hit the like button if you want to. If you don't, that's cool. If you want to sub, that's cool. I'd really appreciate it. If not, no big deal. But tell your friends, tell your clanmates, let them know that Snugs is still around and he's hoping his fan base will slowly grow. That's all I got for you. I'll see you next time. Snugs on Blitz, out.